श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांत आचार्य वर्यो में सन्निधत्तां सदाकृति श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्षण यतित्योगाकमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूत मनर्गशीलं गोपाल देशिक मुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः. Swami Desikan's most wonderful stotra grantham Saranagati Deepika on the concept of prapatti and the prelude, the preamble introduction as to why prapatti is required and the way to perform prapatti, the modes, the modus operandi, and after prapatti how one should behave, why a prapannan should be protected by the Lord. All that Swami lists down in a most logical manner, pleading and praying to the Lord to protect the Sharanagatan. We will enjoy the 56th and 57th slokam today, and tomorrow we will have the final 58 and 59. So, in this 56th slokam, Swami very beautifully mentions about the potential transitory pleasures, the fleeting alpa anandam, alpa pleasures, astiram, alpastirair ashukajair asukhavasanair dukkan vidair anuchitair abhimanamulaihi pratyak paraghanubhavai parigurnitam mam tvayeva nata charitartaya nirvivikshum alpastirair ashukajair asukha vasanaihi dukkan vidair anuchitair abhimanamulaihi pratyak paraghanubhavai parigurnitam mam tvayeva nata charitartaya nirviviksham. O Lord, Perumal, Natha, Master, Swami, I am simply staggered, overwhelmed by the enjoyment of the Jivatma Sakshatkara, the Kaivalya Anubhavam, enjoyment of our own Jivatma's nature, and also lured and attracted by the material pleasures which are trivial, which are fleeting, transitory, temporary, not at all permanent, evanescent. It goes away, diminishing, and they are not easy, which invariably end in the pain. Every pleasure is associated with 1,000 times pain, and they are inapt, they are unfitting, and which cause conceit, cheating. It simply deludes me. So please convert this person, transform this person into the one desirous of you only, and make me with accomplished desire. The desire should be accomplished. The desire of asking for you, the jnanam about you, the kainkaryam for you, that desire should be fulfilled, accomplished. Nammalvar's Pasunam, Kandu, Ketu, Utru, Mondu, Undu, Udalum, Ainkaruvi, Kanda, Inbam, Terivaria, Alavilla, Chitrinbam. So this verse, Pasunam, appears to be in Vedanta Desika's Thiruvullam, mind, when he composes this slokam. The pleasures, the anandam in this world, in this lila, in this karma life, end in the two kinds. One, pratyak anubhavam or kaivalyam. Other is parag anubhavam. material, worldly pleasures. Kaivalyam, the Jivatma Sakshatkaram, is Terivariya Alavilla Chitrinbam, as described by Alvar. Terivariya Alavilla Chitrinbam. Indescribable, endless, paltry pleasure. Very insignificant compared to the Moksha Samrajya, Mokshananda, Paripurna Brahmanubhava. No doubt, Jivatma Sakshatkaram is absolute Anandam. But million times more is the Moksha Samrajyam, Sri Vaikuntha Prapti. Compared to the worldly pleasures, Jivatma Sakshatkaram is excellent. The nature of Jivatma itself is Bhogyam. However, it is 1/1,000,000th of Moksha Samrajyam, Sri Vaikuntha Anandam. So, the endless, indescribable, paltry pleasure is Jivatma Anubhava, Kaivalyam, Pratyak. Whereas Paraganubhavam, the worldly pleasure which derive through the senses, are mentioned before Kaivalyam by Alvar. Desika groups everything together. Kaivalyam and as well as the worldly pleasures are all equal to me, because it does not give Moksha Ananda. Dosha Shabdakam, he says, 7 well-known defects, 7 well-known doshams. Swami mentioned in the slokam. Alpam, 1 alpam, they are trivial. 2 astinam, they are transient, temporary, impermanent. 3 asukaram, not sukaram, asukaram, not easy to pursue. One has to toil. Undiye udayeendre. We have to keep on slogging for the whole day. So, asukaram, not easy to pursue. 4 asukavasana, end in pain. All pleasures end in pain. 5 dukkhanvita, accompanied by dukkam, grief, sorrow. 6 anuchitaha, not compatible with our true nature of being your property, your shariram, your servant, your child, and therefore it is not befitting us, it is ill befitting to us. So, anuchitaha. 7 abhimana moola, it leads to self-conceit, it leads to abhimanam, swa-abhimanam. Please get me rid of all these 7 doshams, so-called pleasures, whether it is Kaivalyam or worldly pleasures. Get me rid of that. And please let me concentrate on desiring to attain only Devari's lotus feet. Please make me so. And exactly this day we are enjoying Shitram Chirigale Vandunnai Shevit, Andal's Satamarai Pasuram, 29th Pasuram. Matrainam Kamangal Matri. Itrai Pareholvan Andrigan Govinda. Do you think we are looking for these worldly pleasures, Parai, material benefits, Jivatma Anandam? Andre, oh look, Govinda, this is not what we are praying for the past 30 days. Itrai Pareholvan Andrigan Govinda, Yetraikum, Yeral Piravikum Mundanod, Utromeyavam, Umake Namachaivam. Eternally, we would like to be associated with you and we would like to be enslaved by you, serve you at your lotus feet with Paripurna Brahmanubhavam. Yeral Piravikum, even if you give million births, we want that. Matrainam Kamangal Matri. Please get us rid of all other kamams, all other desires. Only the desire to attain and seeking your lotus feet. Only to have jnanam about you. Only to have Priti Purvaka jnanam about you. In the last word of the slokam is a reading Nirviviksham instead of Nirapeksham. Nirviviksham is to be taken with Thaiyar nirvivikshu. Desire to enjoyment of you alone, Thaiyar nirvivikshu. So beautifully Swami mentions in this slokam. O Lord, please, this is a prayer to save me from the aspirations for a variety of pleasures that have stigmas to it. Short life, sorrow mixed, grief mixed, leaving pain and calamity, chaos, tragedy at the end. Alpam, astinam. So, even pleasures of Atmanubhavam, Jivatma Sakshatkaram, Kaivalyam, Swargam are all to be deprecated, to be gotten rid of, because one day it's going to end. Not eternal enjoyment. Please make me ask of you your own company and your own service to your lotus feet. Please make me do that. Swami mentions here in such a beautiful manner praise for the blessings of Sri Deepa Prakashan for the realization of Kainkaryam and for to experience moksha sukha, describes his helpless state and begs the Lord to experience moksha anandam. He acknowledges his recognition of the 7 blemishes, the defects associated with the enjoyment of Jivatma Sakshatkaram as well as the worldly desires, and begs to be rescued from those temptations which are alluring, and begs for true mokshanandam. So, both these Kaivalyam, the Jivatma Sakshatkaram and worldly pleasures are paltry, insignificant when compared to Adbhuta Sukham of enjoying you in Sri Vaikuntham. 1. 2. They are never lasting. 3. To enjoy them, there is a need to goad the indriyam, control the indriyams and the body. 4. At the end of enjoying these 2 sukhams, there is no anandam, it is only pain. During the course of this worldly enjoyment of Jivatma Sakshatkaram, the worry is about furthermore births to be taken, haunt the Jivatma and completely tarnish the enjoyment. There is no, it is like a parole. From the prison you come out and you go back. There is therefore no enjoyment of these 2 sukhams at all. These pleasures are not appropriate for Jiva Swarupam, which is deriving anandam from enjoying you alone as the master. Finally, disturbing thoughts arise from the enjoyment of these sukhams, in that one is enjoying these sukhams only for one's own sake, swabhimanam, not to please you but to please ourselves. So these are the 7 imperfections in enjoying the Kaivalya Sukham and worldly pleasures. So here there Swami Desikan takes the cue from Nammalvar. So thus getting us, whether it after dismissing both Kaivalyam and worldly pleasures or Swarganubhavam as Alpam, Astinam, Ashukajam, Asuka Avasanam, Dukkha Anvitam, Anuchitam, to one Swarupam and Abhimana Moolam, Swami Desikan states that he is no longer tossed about the desire for Swargam or Kaivalyam or worldly pleasures. No. He says that the everlasting, the complete, absolute, paripurna Brahmanandam, the woe-free Sukham that he is seeking is the Sukham of Paripurna Brahma Anubhavam, Moksha Samrajya, the eternal service at the lotus feet of Sriyapati Sriman Narayana. Vadivil Kalamellam Udanai Manni Vadivila Adimeshaya Vendum Nam. Nammalvar says, for eternal time, for the time ever, we would like to be at your lotus feet performing eternal blemishless service. So, it is to be realized through Nitya Kainkaryam to Divya Dampati at their supreme abode of Sri Vaikuntham. Swami Desikan prostrates before the Lord and begs him to fulfill his desire, to enjoy the true sukham of Sayujya Moksham. Tvayi eva nirvivikshum mam charitartaya. So, please grant me the desire to desire your lotus feet. Please grant me the desire to get more jnanam about you. So, we can pray. And next slokam in 57, Swami Desikan prays for the blessings of Sri Deepa Prakasha for the realization of eternal Kainkaryam to him, rooted in the unification of mind, body and speech. Mano, Vak, Kayam, Karanatrayam, Mukkaranangalal. So, here Swami mentions that we need to pray for, O Lord, out of your daya, make me so that unification of thought, word and action would be there, triple faculties, on one pointed focused devotion on you for eternal service. Tattvavabodha samita pratikula vrittim kaikarya labdha karanatraya samarasyam kritva twadhanya vimukham kripaya swayam mam spatim drisho pratilabasva jagadjananyaha. Wonderful sloka. This sloka is practically the last one in this Sharanagati Deepika Stotram. The next two are by way of Satvika Tyagam and Palashruti. So, 57th slokam. Tattvavabodha shamita pratikula vrittim Kainkarya labdha karanatraya samarasyam Kritva twadhanya vimukham kripaya swayam mam spatim drisho pratilabasva jagadjananyaha. O Lord Deepa Prakasha, out of your own daya, make me of your own accord one whose acts opposed to your will, your sankalpam, your shastras are quelled by the knowledge of the tattvam, and the one who has obtained in through service to you and your chosen devotees, to your Bhagavatas, with one pointed focus, devotedness, devotion in regard to thought, word and action, mano, vak, kayam, mind, body, speech, and make me ignore everything and everybody but you. And thereby I would regain the bloom of the glances of Goddess Mahalakshmi. So this sloka is so wonderful. Swami mentions Bhagavane, you please make me a perfect prapanna. My tendency is to act in contravention, transgression to the Lord's divine mandates through the Shastras are to be crushed by proper familiarity with the knowledge of Tattvatrayam, Chetanam, Achetanam, Ishwaran, the sentient, the beings and the non-sentient, the universe, the matter, Prakriti, Achetanam and Ishwaran, the Lord, by proper jnanam, familiarity, paripurna jnanam as blessed by you on the Tattvatrayam, that would only crush my transgressions of the Shastras. So we have to perform acts commended, instructed by the scriptures. In particular, service to God, service to Bhagavatas, service to Sandror, Vedantis, service to Bhaktas, service to Acharyas, we should do. These services ought to be informed, ought to be focused and pointed with body, mind and speech. Otherwise it is a fraud. வாய் வாழைப்பழம், கை கர்ணக்கிழங்கு. Sweet talks. Adiyan. Now 45th Pattam Aishinger used to say, the Shishya will say, Adiyan. But if I ask him to do something, he would say, I have another work. He would not do. That's not what we should do. In a lighter vein, Aishinger mentioned that. But it is true that our body, mind and speech do not act in unison. It has to. Otherwise it is fraud. So, by God's grace, only with His daya, which we should pray for, we should develop that spirit, that right spirit of unison of body, mind and action, and the true Paramaikantitvam. We should never have an occasion, desire whatsoever to worship, to pay homage to other devatas, number one. Demigods, other non-Vaishnavas, because they do not fall in the category of worshipable personages. They are not worshipable. மறந்தும் புறம் தொழா மாந்தர் மற்றுமோர் தெய்வமுண்டோ மதியிலா மானிடர்கள் உற்றபோதன்றி நீங்கள் ஒருவன் என்று உணரமாட்டேன். So, having surrendered unto our Lord Sriyapati Sriman Narayanan, we ought to observe the virtue of chaste wife, pativrate, associated with the patni. Sriyapati is our only pati, the husband, in the spiritual sense. All the jivatmas are patni. He is the pati. We are all to be chaste, wedded only to him. The prapatti is like a wedding to the Purushan. If we fulfill these criteria, the eyes of Mahalakshmi will glow, will be happy, will enlarge, will blossom and will rejoice, and she will bless us. Astute tayaiva sarvam sampachyate. She will say, let it be so. So, the two aspects of human desire, Anishta Nivritti and Ishta Prapti, are dealt with in the first and second quarters of the slokam, this slokam. My pratikula vritti must come to end. The transgressions against the Shastras must come to end. That alone has been responsible for keeping me tied down to this samsara sagaram so long. Birth and death, mari mari palapirappum pirande. This kind of mental makeup of a person is beautifully summarized in one sentence of Paramapada Sopanam by Swami Desikan. Ni Bhagavat Kinkaran என்றால் ஓம் என்று இசையாதே யம கிங்கரர்க்கு இடமாம்படி இந்திரிய கிங்கரனாய் போந்தபடி. நீ பகவத் கிங்கரன் என்றால் ஓம் என்று இசையாது. You are Bhagavat Kinkaran. You are the servant of the Lord. If somebody says, we say no. ஓம் என்று இசையாது. We never say yes. We do not acknowledge that. And by saying no to that statement, we become the Yamakinkararku idamampadi. We give room for the Yamakinkaras to come to catch us for the next birth. And by facilitating the Yamakinkaras to come at the end of our life, we have become Indriya Kinkara. We have become servant to the senses, sense organs. So if the Lord himself comes and says, Tvam me, you belong to me, we say, no, aham me, I belong to me, not you. We argue with him. So this pratikulyam must be gotten rid of by obtaining a correct, right, shastric knowledge of tattvam, the tattvatrayam, chit, achit, ishvara, that he alone is the Swami, he alone is the Shesh. We are all dasas or sheshas. That way we must put ourselves in tune with his commands, his sankalpam, his will, his pleasure. Or rather he, the Lord, must bless us, must shower us with his grace to attain that attunement, to get attuned to that nature of being his servant, Seshan, and thereby to atone, to regret for our past errors of omission and commission. for all our past transgressions and mistakes, papam so far. And this is anishta nivritti, the negative aspect. Positively, we must develop, or rather, he must give us, shower us with the capacity to develop a taste for him and his company of Bhagavatas, Bhaktas. And towards that end, our scattered trikaranam, our scattered manovakayam, mind, speech and body, which are not in unison, will become unison. By with his blessing, with a taste for him, also with his blessing, and a desire to be associated with his bhaktas, we have karanatraya samarasya, this one-pointed absorption in him with mind, body and speech. Shindayalum, sollalum, shaigayalum, with the mind, with the words and with the action. என் அம்மான் பொங்கே புகழ்கள் வாயவாய் புலன்கொள் வடிவு மனத்ததாய் அங்கே மலர்கள் கையவாய் வழிபட. என் அம்மான், my Lord, பொங்கே புகழ்கள் வாயவாய், we would praise his glories, his namas, his vaibhavam, his form with our mouth, with our tongue. புலன்கொள் வடிவு மனத்ததாய், we would enjoy his divine, majestic, awesome, handsome form with the Shankha Chakram, with the Abharanams, with the divine Tirumukam and the lovely Divyamangala Vigraham in our mind. We would contemplate. First talk, praise, now contemplate in the mind. Ange Malargal Kayyavai Valipada. We would take the fresh, fragrant flowers and offer those flowers at his lotus feet and perform namaskarams, Sashtanga namaskarams with our body. This at-one-ment synthesis among the three karanams will show themselves in selfless kaikaryam to the Lord and to his chosen devotees. This is the positive content here, which is prayed for. As a corollary to this twofold realization, anishta nivritti and ishta prapti, nothing and no one else will count for us as anything to us. Nothing else would matter to us anymore. Nothing else. Him, service to him, enjoying him and being associated with his bhaktas and being in unison with the mind, body and speech, praying for a desire in him, taste for him, enjoying him, talking about him, praying to him, namaskarams to him, all that. Nothing else matters. So this additional symbol of true dasyam must be there. All these the Lord must achieve for us out of his infinite grace. We cannot get all these things. He has to bless us with his grace. That's what Lord is praying for. That's what Vedanta Desika prays. Not that Vedanta Desika needs this. He is composing this sloka for Adiyan, for Adiyongal, for us. The Lord is promised an inestimable prize. If he does that, if he blesses us with this daya for our welfare and uplift, Lord is promised rewarded in the shape of Mahalakshmi Kataksham. Of course, he has that in plenty already. He is Sriyapati. He is Parabrahmam. But a special and appreciative Kataksham from Mahalakshmi's lovely, wide, well laid out, darting, sparkling, charming lotus eyes. What is referred to here? When the Lord redeems a Chetana from samsara, when the Lord blesses the Chetana from samsara and showers his daya, she rejoices, and that is reflected in her Kataksham. The word used here to signify Lakshmi is Jagat Janani, the mother who has given birth to the world. Purpose of creation is to afford an opportunity for each Jivatma to redeem themselves. And when that redemption takes place, Lakshmi is pleased. Her heart joys, enjoys, rejoices. She spells and casts a warm, loving, lingering kataksham on the Lord, and with a smile and admiration and appreciation for what he has done. So, in the Sloka 53, Desika was saying that if you don't bless me, all your qualities would be waste. So, Samadhana Bheda Danda, he is using all the 4 strategy to achieve his purpose. Now, Dana, gift, prize, in the shape of Mahalakshmi's fond kataksham on you, O Lord. You will get her beautiful kataksham. So, true to the theory that moksha is attainable here in this world itself, Desika does not refer to life beyond. He wants to be a mukta here itself. Here itself. Muktanubhuti migadasyati me mukundaha. Here peruvadellam inge naam petru vaazha. Here itself it would matter to us, nothing would matter to us except the desire for him, except the desire for kaikkaryam to him and his Bhagavatas. Vaikuntavasepi name bilashe. Samsara yesha bhagavan apavargayeva vaikuntavasepi name bilasha. All having their roots in Alva's outpouring. Inge tirinderku ilukutren. What's wrong in being here if it is enjoying the Lord here itself? And which is also furnished the Karnatraya Samarasyam, the act in unison, mind, body and speech. Adiyan Dhanyosmi. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Bhagyam.